I think you need to get a little higher, guys. You need to get a little higher than 225 yards a game. You need to up this. I'm not going to sit here and go 220 yards a game and think you're going to win a division. I've been told to give optimism today, and I'm going to. Big Sills, National Football Show. Guys, I will tell you this, man. A lot of fun doing the middle with Barrett Brooks. We have really a ton of fun, and I appreciate everybody that comes aboard there. We do a little bit different here. Hit the like button. We go back and forth, you and me. I haven't said that in a little bit. You know, you guys have had difference of opinions on me. And by the way, I'm still learning the way you go about an NFL draft. It's very unconventional, okay? It is. It's very unconventional. And also, by the way, if you go to my Twitter page, at Dan Sileo Show, you see the haters. Look, man, it's just a conversation. It doesn't mean anything's going to be put in cement or poured in cement here when talks about getting your football team better. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to be right. I'm trying to have a good football season. Always remember that. Okay? I'm trying to have a good year. I'm trying to get the football team better. I'm trying to get the football team to take advantage of the moment. I want to throw this at you right away, too, just to show you where the Philadelphia Eagles are right now. Do you know that we're going to go into the April draft? There are going to be 8 NFL football teams without first-round picks. Let me underscore that for you again. 8 National Football League teams are not going to have first-round picks, and the Eagles have 3. You want optimism? There is a stake full of optimism. 3 ones. 8 teams don't have a 1. It is unprecedented to see that. You know, in the last 7 days, I can't believe what I've watched the NFL go through. Do you guys remember Aaron Rodgers signed a $200 million contract? 150 of it guaranteed? That's like page 10 now. That's page 10. Man, is that crazy. Look, guys, I know the big story of the day is Tyreek Hill going to the Miami Dolphins for all those draft choices. And he was never going to ever think about going to Philadelphia because you know why? Jalen Hurts has not proven he is a franchise quarterback. And I'm going to tell you why it actually makes sense for Kansas City to get rid of Tyreek Hill. Okay? And why Miami was a perfect scenario for him. What is the one thing that we have seen with that quarterback in Miami? He's a dink and dunker. He's a dink and dunker. He's a dink and dunker. That's the one problem they had in Kansas City last year. Dink and dunk. What does Tyreek Hill do best? This guy is a football player that wants to get his targets, and they want to go deep with him. Kansas City's not doing that anymore. Dink and dunk. Dink and dunk. You know what Kansas City realized? They can win without him because they did at the second half of the season last year. And at the end of the day, guys, since that Super Bowl win, okay, when you take the top off and that allow that guy to get deep, Tyreek Hill ain't going to beat you. The Chiefs went like this. He don't fit anymore. They're going to go to the tight end, dink and dunk, dink and dunk. Okay? I'm not paying that kind of money for a guy that I can dink and dunk with, get the same results with. Miami, you put the money in there. Give me the draft choices. Kansas City, are they a lesser team? By the way, they're also getting rid of Honey Badger. Think of how they went from the first team in the AFC West to the last team in the AFC West. in 7 days. That's how small the margin was. That's how small the margin is in the AFC. They went from the best team in the AFC West to the 4th best team in 7 days. 7 days. You can't lose that kind of production. But they weren't going to pay it either. They were not going to pay. They were not going to pay for it. Okay? They were not going to pay for it. By the way, yes, Kansas City has Mahomes. But what has been the one common denominator when it comes to these high-priced quarterbacks? You can't keep a roster together for more than 1 year. You can't. Devontae Adams. Rodgers gets $50 million. Out. Dak gets $42 million. Mari Cooper. Out. Now you're seeing here Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes. His escalator kicks in now. $48 million. Out. Can't do it, folks. You will not keep a roster together paying that kind of money to a quarterback. Watch this. Rodgers, Kansas City, okay? Rodgers and Kansas City and Dallas will not win a Super Bowl while those quarterbacks are still under contract with those teams for the deal they're making. No way. No way. By the way, whatever happened to this Chiefs dynasty? I don't know, man. Seattle kind of did the same thing. Went to 2 Super Bowls. Was kind of the same deal. It was the dynasty that never will be because of the money that Patrick Mahomes got. That's not a dynasty. 4 straight AFC championship games. Hell of a comment. You think it was a dynasty in Philadelphia what Andy Reid did? How many Super Bowls did he get to? 1? Dude, you got to pull the curtain down eventually to win it. Look how fast that window in Kansas City is closed. You think you're keeping Chris Thomas next year? Or Chris Jones, excuse me? The guy they're paying $20 million to? Out. Man, you got to have a bunch of dudes on your team that don't make a lot of money, or your quarterback's got to take haircuts. Xander's showing me the salary cap hits. Hoss, we're talking as an average $45 million against the cap every year that Mahomes' new contract kicks in. How are you going to maneuver around that? How are you going to add components and pieces to your team? Howie is smart in this way. You want optimism? I got it for you here. You ready? He's able to build the roster because the cap is sound. The cap is sound in Philadelphia. Howie's biggest problem that he had with the Deshaun Watson deal, it would have upset future deals, future transactions. Did they get the shiny guy they wanted? No. Did they get the big-time wide receiver? No. Howie wants to be calculated. It's okay to be calculated. That's how Brady won 7 Super Bowls. Being calculated. You know, Xander said yesterday to me, he goes, Sills, you know, you got to understand the draft process in Philadelphia. He's right. See, Howie's background, I did some research. Howie's background is a capologist. Howie is already, okay, he's already in the 2026 season. And Howie's looking at this team. Okay? Dolphins clearly overpaid for this guy. But maybe in 3 years, Chris Greer, the general manager, will look at Stephen Ross and go, we got the guy on a deal because the cap's going to keep escalating. Okay? You got Waddle and what's his name? Hill at the other side. You got a nice addition with the tackle from the Saints. You're adding components. There's no question now. Tua's on the hot seat. Kid, it's either you or it's not. It's either you or not. As a matter of fact, okay, if Baker Mayfield gets cut, there will be a boatload of teams. Steelers have already made it very clear. If he gets released, they'll be the first team in line. They're not paying him $18 million, though. That's what nobody wants to put that on their books right now because everyone's setting their cap. Okay? Yeah. Smile says Baker's still available. Not at $18 million, he ain't. Nobody's taking on $18 million to go. I don't know. I'll take him on at 5. I'm good with that. It's no big cap hit. So I say this to you. Hill was, and everyone this morning when we were getting the news and I was on with Barrett, hey, that'd be a perfect fit on the other side of Devontae Smith. Folks, can I make a point to you on something? Devontae Smith doesn't even fit your football team. He's a horrible blocker. He's a really good route runner. He's a hardworking guy, but he's not physical. What would make you think a guy who fits that profile and Tyreek Hill, why would you want another guy on the other side of him that if you're going to build a running attack football team under the style of Jalen Hurts, why would you want to have 2 cream puffs who don't block in the run game or, better yet, don't care to? Why would you even – you're not thinking about how the team's being constructed right now. You got wide receivers that are cream puffs in the blocking game. They're not going to throw their bucket in there and block for Miles Sanders. These guys are looking – hey, that's a business decision too. You think Tyreek Hill's going to sit back and Tyreek Hill's going to go like this? Watch this. Yeah, man, let me throw myself in front of that guy there, that free or strong safety, to get the guy going in the run game. Come on, man. That's not what that guy does. Andy Reid and management Kansas City went, we can win without this guy. Funny thing is, I think Kansas City's a lesser team now. You look at Dallas and Kansas City. Folks, man, you lose Honey Badger, and now you lose this dude. Those 2 guys could be the difference between you finishing first or last in the AFC West. The Chargers are loaded. The Raiders are elevated. Denver's got 2 pass rushers now. Okay? You better bring your lunch pail when you're playing those other teams in the division. So now to roll it back to Howie. Howie's not going to upset the plan they're on. My only problem with Howie, though, is he said that the Eagles need to gamble. I'm trying to figure out what that gamble is. Is it a quarterback in the draft? Is it going back in and getting a wideout? Which, by the way, folks, I got to tell you guys this, man. The Philadelphia Eagles stink at drafting wideouts. And by the way, that's not an opinion. That's a fact. Does anybody point this out? Does anybody point this out that the Eagles can't draft wideouts? I mean, Jeremy Maclin is your claim to fame since this owner has owned a team in 1995. Jeremy Maclin, who really, was just another guy. He's a good player. Man, no, that's not true, Dan. I think the Eagles do a great job of drafting O-linemen. By the way, to me, that's more essential nowadays than really any other position, is getting the right guys up front. I think it's just as hard to build an O-line as it is to build a quarterback up, because you got to find 5 of those guys, and you got to fit them in a cap, and you got to develop them. That's hard, man. The Eagles have done a nice job of that. But they keep doing this. Let's go back over to the why or the Z, and they try to keep getting that position right. You know, here's why Howie's not wrong, though. In my lifetime, folks, I never thought I would ever say this. The wide receiver position in the NFL today, in today's NFL, is more valuable than a running back. And that's why they're paid the way they are. It's incredible. And you know what? Can you guys name me big-time running backs that are coming out of college over the last 20 years outside of Derrick Henry? I mean, right? We don't any longer see the Adrian Petersons, the Barry Sanders, the Emmitt Smiths. There's not a collection of those guys anymore. You know what they're doing? They're now those players are now playing the wideout position. Yeah, you didn't draft Carl T.O. You've never developed a wideout. Not going to play Trivial Pursuit here. T.O. was brought in. Okay? Najee Harris, Ernest, okay, 1,000 yards. Do you know what 1,000 yards is, Ernest, today? That's 60 yards rushing a game. Do you think 60 yards in offense, okay, 60 yards in offense is production? Are you going to pay $20 million for a guy that runs the balls for 60 yards a game? Or are you going to pay a wide receiver $18 million because he gets you 113 yards in total offense and 10 catches, and he gets you 2 touchdowns a game? Are you going to go? The league is set up for that. Yeah, Matt, Zeke's out of gas. Le'Veon Bell doesn't have a job. All those guys that you just said. Maniac, am I hollering? Oh, it's just me being Italian because I'm excited. Yeah, you guys are naming me running backs from 35 years ago. But funny, isn't it? I can name you wideouts who are littering the league right now. There's a reason why the red zone blows up, because the wideouts in this game. Okay? The wideouts in this game. Barkley went third overall, and guess what? He's a nothing in the NFL. Congratulations, 3rd overall. What did it get you? 0. Oh, he's been hurt, Sales? Really? Well, that's part of it too, man, when you're evaluating somebody. Okay? Saquon Barkley went 3rd? Tell me something. Xander, go into that draft and do me a favor. Who was the first wide receiver drafted in that draft right after Saquon Barkley? Tell me who that was. Okay? Tell me who I said since 1995, Daz. Chris Carter was owned by Norman Brayman. Okay, DJ Moore, 24th overall. I bet he's had more production in the NFL than what Barkley's had. Barkley can't stay healthy. Looks good in a pair of shorts. Okay, looks good in a pair of shorts. Calvin Ridley had a 1,400-yard year, went 26th. Oh, and the Eagles tried trading for him. Saquon Barkley, you think you get a first-rounder for him right now? As often injured as he is? I don't think so. Yeah, let me get Barkley. Really? Yeah, 101. Good luck. Good luck. Who's going to give you a 1 today for a running back? Oh, excuse me. Barkley was the 2nd overall. What a wasted pick by the Giants. Completely wasted pick. Completely. No, Christian McCaffrey, Fred, right? What a great back out of Stanford. You couldn't get a first rounder for that guy. And he's the highest paid running back in the NFL, Christian McCaffrey. And he's missed the last 2 years. So you got Barkley and him, who have been your high-profile guys over the last 5 years. And get this, they're never healthy. The wide receiver position has become a premium. I got to think that's why Howie is looking at that position now. Okay? Tomlinson. Bro, that's 22 years ago. That's 22 years ago. Okay? You guys are bringing up guys from 22 years, 30 years ago, and guys who were hurt. The most productive, by the way, Derrick Henry, who is my favorite player in the league. He is. I don't know if I've ever said that to you. Derrick Henry's my favorite player in the league. Okay? Derrick Henry missed 9 games last year. When does Derrick Henry's tread start coming off? These wide receivers can play longer. Melvin Gordon's a bum. 16th pick overall. Really? Okay. Anyway, you have to make it so that without a doubt here, this is a place for wide receivers to want to come and play. I say this to you, and this is what I don't get too sometimes. Guys, don't you want Jalen to get the best and be the best? Don't you guys want him? Don't you guys want to have him be his best? Why do you want – nothing in life is given to you for free. You know, I made a suggestion today that the Eagles should bring in some competition. Hell, Gardner Minshew would give him competition if given it fairly, but it won't be because you know why? The system that they're building, that's why Garoppolo fits it perfectly. Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't run with the ball in San Francisco. You know, they have one of the best running games in the NFL, but he's not involved in it. Okay? Garoppolo wins ball games throwing the ball. And whatever anytime you see someone say that Jimmy Garoppolo is garbage, his comment doesn't match up reality. Because you're only gauged as a starting quarterback by your one-loss record, not by how many freaking touchdowns you throw. That's the biggest mistake you make. Well, this guy throws – Dan Marino threw for 30 touchdowns every year. And guess what? Got the one AFC championship game. Went to one Super Bowl. You can have all the records you want. But those are fleeting. Records in the NFL are fleeting. Rings aren't. They're lasting. When you win a championship, people are not going to remember what Tom Brady's passing numbers are. They're going to remember one important thing. Same thing with Michael Jordan. You know what that is? 6 championships. Does anybody know off the top of their head how many points? I happen to know because I'm a nerd. How many points did Jordan score a night? There's only one other guy that averaged the same amount of points per game. You know who that is? It's Wilt. Jordan and Wilt averaged 31 points a game for their career. But Jordan's not gauged on that stat. Jordan's gauged on the 6 titles and the 6 finals MVPs. Bring some competition in. There's nothing wrong with that. If Joe Montana had Steve Young pushing him, you're telling me you have a problem, and someone goes, oh, Sileo's just hating again on Hurts. I'm not hating on Hurts. San Francisco, they brought in Trey Lance to push Jimmy G. Jordan Love was brought in to Green Bay to get the handoff from Aaron Rodgers. What are you talking about here? I mean, I want the best, so I want competition, but nobody wants to see that. They want Jalen to have the position, have everything set up like it's a pro day, and everyone go ahead, Jalen, it's your job. You know, Jalen Hurts is the only player not drafted in the first round that the job was handed to him. You know, Mitchell Trubisky's not been promised the job in Pittsburgh. Drew Luck's not been promised that job in Seattle. But Jalen's been promised the job in Philadelphia. Seriously, I mean, think about that. It's the only place in the NFL where you have a football. Zach Wilson, okay, he's a first rounder. Hey, man, go ahead. The Black Line thinks he beat out Carson Wentz. That's a lie. He didn't beat him out. I pray to God, the Black Line, that you see 27 touchdowns and 7 interceptions from Jalen Hurts this coming year. I pray you see that. I don't think he'll ever achieve that, but I pray you do. Okay? I pray you do. Hey, there you go. Kit, Wentz beat himself out. That's right, Matt. That's exactly right. Wentz was his own demise. Wasn't anything Jalen did. And you see, you're trying to change the narrative of how the historical line of progression went. That's not true. Okay? Want to put money on it. Who has a better year? Jalen Hurts had 4,000. I mean, here, Carson Wentz had 4,000 passing yards, 4,500 passing yards in Philadelphia without a 1,000-yard wide receiver. Okay. Hey, that's a good point because I brought this up earlier. Let's say this to you guys. I say Jalen Hurts, for us to be in a position where we think he's the future of the team, would we not think this? Is this fair? Tell me if you think it's wrong. Hey, and by the way, I'm going to write this down. This is going to be, what are our expectations? What are your expectations for Jalen Hurts? And by the way, Barrett today said he expects a better version of Jalen Hurts. Passing yards. What would be fair? Let's be fair, because you know what? I don't want to do something here where someone accuses me of hating. I'm going to make it, okay? I'm going to make it democratic here. I'm going to make it democratic. Something I traditionally don't do. But I'm going to make this democratic so you can't go off the air today and go, Sileo hates Hurts. Okay? Let's do this. What would be fair in a 17-game? And by the way, let's start here, the most important thing. Games played. He missed one last year, and one was because they sat his ass at the end, so it's not fair to say 2. He missed 1. How many games are we expecting him to play this year? What would be fair? How many games? Personally, I think he should play all of them. Personally, I think he should play all of them, but let's say what? 16 minimum. How about passing yards? What is fair? I saw somebody throw up 3,800. I want to see that. 3,800 divided by 16 is 236.5. Someone says 3,600 divided by 16. That's 225 yards a game. I think you need to get a little higher, guys. You need to get a little higher than 225 yards a game. We need to up this. I'm not going to sit here and go 220 yards a game and think you're going to win a division. 30, okay, look at this. Devontae Eaglepacker, look what he has. 3,117 divided by 16. He thinks 194 yards a game is going to win you a division. Yeah, it'll win you the Sun Belt Conference. Come on, guy. Oh, wait, Daryl. 4,500 divided by 16. That's 281. Is that too high? It's 281 point. Personally, I think you're still in the middle of the pack, around 15 or 16 with that. 281 yards a game. Are we good with that? Is 4,500? Think about that. He's got to go from 3,100 passing yards to 4,500 passing yards in one season. Okay? Rob says 290 a game. 290 times 16. Wait a minute, Hoss. That's 4,640 yards. You think Jalen Hurts is going to throw for nearly 5,000 yards after coming off a 3,100-yard season? Got to be better, guys. That's way too high. He ain't doing that. No. The rushing doesn't matter. The rushing doesn't matter. Passing. Wait a minute. You guys want to have big-time wide receivers come to Philadelphia? You can't have a 194-yard passing game and think you're going to land Tyreek Hill. Come on now. I'm showing you that. Look at the level of jump you're talking here. Carr, you think Jalen Hurts is Derek Carr? $194.8. Okay. Yeah. Because they overpaid him. The Eagles were never going to overpay him. Remember something. Tyreek Hill got the richest contract in wide receiver history in the NFL. Sills ain't moving no goalpost. What do you think is a fair? No. The black line says I'm moving the goalpost. No, I never said that. I haven't got to the rushing stats because I think the rushing stats and your 40 yards doesn't matter on a quarterback, dude. You think Tom Brady runs a 4.8? Peyton Manning? Joe Burrow? Give me a break. The elite? You think Matthew Stafford runs a 5.2? Okay. Hey, tell me what passing yards. Passing yards. Okay? Passing yards. Here's what Xander says. 4,030 touchdowns at least. What do you think of Xander's? Let's see. 4,000. Guys, I'm playing along with you here. 4,000 divided by 16 is 250 yards a game. Is 250 yards a game. Let's say 4,000 because I think he can make that leap. That's a 900-yard increase from a year ago. That's within reason. I said 16 games minimum. You might sit him. I'm saying let's have him. I'm doing it over 16. That he'll miss probably a game somewhere. 3,400 passing yards, the black line. Let's take a look at that. Divided by 16. 212 yards. You ain't winning anything with that. Okay. How many touchdowns? Xander says 25. What would be good on touchdowns? Oh, excuse me. He said 30. So that would increase 14. Xander thinks no, actually, it's not what he thinks he can do. It's what he should be doing. So let's make sure we prefaces this. This is what he should be doing. Xander's expecting a 14 passing touchdown increase in his second season. from 16. Okay, 25, 30, 29. Chris says 27. Look at everyone trying to add the rushing in. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Eagles are not winning a Super Bowl with Hurts. Hawk, I'm not saying that yet. 44 touchdowns. Maniac, I love you, man. That's why you have the handle, Maniac. 007 says 35. Whew, man, that's quite an increase, dog. Russell Wilson had 25. Russell Wilson was injured last year and missed almost 6 games. Okay? Everyone's like, Russell Wilson, this guy missed like 2 months, 3 months, didn't he? We won. I'm not talking about Nick Foles, dude. I'm talking about Jalen Hurts here. Talk about moving goalpost. Let's see here. How about, is 30 fair? 30. That's a 14 touchdown increase. Rushing yards. Let's get to that stupid stat. It doesn't matter with the great quarterbacks. Just doesn't matter. It's not really a quarterback stat. I mean, Lamar Jackson had 1,100 yards rushing one year. Got him the MVP regular season. Fantastic. Won a boatload of games. Got into the playoffs. Got bumped. And has gone downhill ever since that MVP season. Steve, I'm trying to. Steve, am I crazy with the 30? Do I think he could do 30? No way. But you guys think it's 30. Fred said 600 rushing yards. Carl, 550. Okay? Let's take a look at that. 550, Carl. I'm more in that round. Let's go here with that. 550 divided by 16. Okay. 34 yards a game. Watch this. Okay, 34 yards a game on top of 250 yards passing. You got a guy roughly around 290 yards of total offense every game. You don't think 290 yards of total offense is good? I happen to think it's really good. Okay, 290 yards with a 4,000-yard passer. Let me just put it to you this way. If Jalen Hurts puts these numbers up, he'll be in the conversation for the most valuable player. 4,000 passing yards. He'll be considered a franchise quarterback. You see, I think what you guys are not understanding, you have an elite quarterback. You don't have a franchise. These numbers make him franchise. All the guys who are getting the big deals, all the guys and the young guys you're seeing like Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Derek Carr, Justin Herbert, those guys, they're already being labeled franchise quarterbacks. Why do you think they're re-upping Mike Williams where the Chargers are? Why do you think that the Bengals went out and spent as much money as they possibly did in free agency when it came to O-linemen? Because of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow gives them affordability because guess why? Joe Burrow's on a rookie deal, but Jalen Hurts is on a rookie deal, but he ain't that guy in Cincinnati. So here's what we have here. 16 games, 4,000 passing yards, 30 touchdowns, 550 yards rushing. That's our expectations this year, correct? That would be a 900-yard, almost 1,000-yard increase in passing yards. Is that unrealistic? Here, let's take a look at that, for instance, here. Okay, you know what we're asking him to do? Here's what we're asking him to do. I know I'm laying it. Hello, Mrs. Brooks. How are you? I love your kid. Oh, I love you. You guys are only asking Jalen Hurts to increase his passing stats 62.5 yards a game. Is that cool? Here, let's see what he did last year. Guys, I want to be fair in our expectations because I don't want anyone to call me a hater over here. Okay, 3115 divided by 16. Hurts threw for 194 last year. All we're asking him to do is improve 60 yards to put him at 250 yards in passing per game over 16 games. Is that okay? Is everyone all right with that?